Did you know WordPress powers 43% of all websites online, making it the world's leading website building platform? If you're new to WordPress, it can feel overwhelming at first, just like it was for me. But no worries, I've got you covered. In this video, I'll break down the basics of WordPress and guide you step by step to create your own WordPress website. You'll get access to hundreds of free, professional templates. We'll be using a brand new free theme. Just pick the template you want to import, tweak the color palette, click Import, and your whole website will be set up in seconds. Have you heard of Elementor? You probably have. Elementor has become the top drag-and-drop page builder for WordPress. Its drag-and-drop feature allows even beginners to effortlessly design professional-looking websites. You just click, drag elements onto the page, and customize your site exactly how you want. It's as easy as moving things around on a screen. And the best part? Elementor is completely free to use. In this video, I'll show you how to use WordPress alongside the #1 drag-and-drop page builder, Elementor. Now, let's create your website in 5 easy steps. Step 1 is getting your domain and hosting. A domain is your website's address, like www.mywebsite.com, and web hosting keeps your site live all day, every day. Step 2 involves importing a starter template. You'll have access to a range of free templates across different niches, and I'll guide you through adding a starter template to your fresh WordPress site. In Step 3, we'll design the website using Elementor. I'll explain every feature inside Elementor's page builder so you can build your layout exactly how you want it. Step 4 covers the WordPress theme customizer. Each WordPress theme comes with this tool, and I'll show you how to tweak various aspects of your website with it. Finally, in Step 5, we'll wrap things up by exploring some hosting features and setting up a free business email for your website. Sound good, party people? Great! Step 1. Getting domain and hosting. You'll find a link in the video description directing you to Section 1, where you can purchase your new domain and hosting through Hostinger.com. Hostinger.com ranks among the fastest and most affordable web hosting providers in the industry. Before we dive into choosing a plan, notice the banner at the top with the English tab. If English isn't your first language, you can easily switch to your preferred language here. For instance, whether you speak Thai, Portuguese, Italian, or Japanese, selecting your native language will automatically translate the whole website. Once you're set, click on Claim Deal to see 3 pricing options: Premium, Business, Cloud Startup. I highly recommend the Business plan. It supports more visitors and includes a free CDN, boosting your website speed by 40% compared to the Premium plan. If your traffic grows later, you can upgrade to Cloud Startup or Cloud Professional, which allow even more visitors. To get started, select the Business plan by clicking Choose Plan under Business. On the next page, the cart, you'll pick your hosting duration. Click the arrow, and I suggest going with 12 months. This qualifies you for a free domain, a substantial hosting discount, and a 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason at all. To take advantage of this exclusive offer, you just need to click the referral link I'm sharing with you right now. Hostinger is currently running their Black Friday sale, but by using my referral link, you'll get an even bigger discount than their Black Friday offer. Even if you're watching this a few months down the line, say 3 or 4 months later, the discount through my link will still be significant. To take advantage of this exclusive offer, you just need to click the referral link I'm sharing with you right now. Hostinger is currently running their Black Friday sale, but by using my referral link, you'll get an even bigger discount than their Black Friday offer. Even if you're watching this a few months down the line, say 3 or 4 months later, the discount through my link, click Continue. On the next page, you'll create an account by providing your email address and setting a password for your hosting account. When you've entered these details, click Register. Next, fill in your billing information, your first and last name, country, and all required details. Then, click Continue. In the following step, choose your payment method. Options include credit card, PayPal, Google Pay. Also, there is Alipay. And then, Hostinger presents the coin gate. I'll select Card and fill out my credit card details. Use this example to fill in the blanks. Once you've entered all info and see your discount applied from the referral link, click Submit Payment. You'll then be redirected to the next page. Now, we'll go through the Hostinger Setup Wizard. It starts by asking who this website is for. I'll choose me or my business and hit Next. Then, it asks whether you want to create a new website or migrate an existing one. I'll pick Create a Website and click Next. You'll set up your WordPress login credentials. Use the email address and create a password. Make sure to save these details because you'll need them to log into WordPress later. After entering this info, click Next. When asked about what kind of website you want to build, you can skip selecting a template by clicking Create a Blank Site. On the following step, enter the domain name for your new website. With our referral link, you get a free domain. This is the web address people will type in their browsers, like, for example, www.mycashprocess.infi.uk. After typing in your desired domain, you'll see it's available as a free domain. So go ahead and select it, then click Next. Now, you'll register your domain to officially claim ownership. Choose whether it's for personal or company use. I'll pick personal. Then select the country where you're registering the domain. I'll choose the United States and click Next Step. Next, enter your contact information. This is important because it shows who owns the domain. And if you ever want to sell it later, people will refer to this info. Fill in your first name, last name, and contact details. Then click Finish Registration. After that, select a server location closest to your target audience. For example, United States if you're in the Americas, Germany if you're in Europe, or Brazil if you're in South America. This isn't critical because Hostinger provides free CDNs, which place copies of your website on servers worldwide, ensuring fast loading wherever visitors come from. For me, I'll pick Arizona and then click Next. Hostinger will now install WordPress on your new domain. This usually takes a minute or two. And congratulations, this is your brand new WordPress website. You'll see the Hostinger Welcome Wizard, which helps you get started with your site and offers some tutorials and useful tips. Before moving on, the first thing I want you to do is check your email. All right, so heading over to my Gmail now, you'll get some important emails from Hostinger. The first step is to verify your email address. This confirms you're a real user and links your email with Hostinger. I'll go ahead and hit the Verify Email button. Now, this is the Hostinger dashboard. This is where you can manage your websites, create free business emails, and much more. We'll dive deeper into the dashboard a bit later. Back to the inbox. There's another email from Hostinger that you need to open. Here, click on Inbox, and you'll see an option to verify your domain. So, to use your domain, click on Verify Email again. Once you've clicked that, Hostinger.com confirms your domain information is verified. Let's return to the WordPress dashboard. At the top, you'll spot the preview domain. To leave preview mode and visit your live website, just type in your domain name, like mycashprocess.infi.uk. And that's your new live domain on the internet. If you want to log into your WordPress site later, there are two ways. One is through the hosting dashboard, which I personally use often because I tend to forget passwords. Just go to the Website tab. Find your domain and click WordPress Admin. This logs you directly in. And just like that, we're logged into WordPress using our live domain online. Click Visit Site here and you'll see your website. Next up, I'll walk you through logging into WordPress via your browser. Here, you'll type in your domain name followed by -wp-admin, which will take you to the WordPress login page. Here, you input your credentials, your email, and password. Keep in mind, these are the details you set up when you installed WordPress. Go ahead and check the Remember Me box, then click Login. That's how you can easily log in and out of WordPress, allowing you to manage your website from anywhere. All right, let's move on to the WordPress dashboard. Here, you'll find a list of your pages. Just click on All Pages and you'll see them all laid out. These are just demo pages, so feel free to delete any you don't want. The same goes for posts. These show all your blog posts. You'll see one called Hello World, which is basically an intro to your blog. But you can trash that too by clicking on Trash. That's how you remove pages or posts from your site. Now, let's dive into some key WordPress settings. Head over to Users, then click on Profile. The first option lets you change the back-end color scheme, whether you prefer light, modern, blue, ocean, coffee, midnight, ectoplasm, and sunrise. I personally like modern because it's gentler on the eyes. Scrolling down, you can update your email address here. This is where password reset emails will be sent, so make sure it's an email you can access. If you want to change your WordPress password, click on Set New Password and enter the new one. After making changes, click Update Profile. Next, let's go to Settings and select General. The first thing here is to name your website. I'll set mine My Cache Process Infy. Below that is the tagline. Think of it as your site slogan, like how Nike uses Just Do It. You can create your own tagline or leave this blank if you prefer. You can also upload a site icon, which shows up at the top of browser tabs when visitors come to your websites. Scrolling down, you have the option to update your email address right here at any time. For those who speak different languages, you can switch the WordPress backend to your native language, whether that's Chinese, Russian, Dutch, Spanish, or another. You just select it here, and the entire backend will be displayed accordingly. After adjusting these settings, scroll down and click Save Changes. Now, there are two more settings I want to review. Let's open the Discussion tab. Since WordPress originally started as a blogging platform, people usually leave comments on your posts, but this can get really annoying. So here, I'll uncheck the box for Allow people to submit comments, because leaving it checked often leads to spam like Viagra ads and other junk flooding your site. After unchecking it, scroll down and click Save. The final setting to adjust before we start designing your website is the permalinks. Here, click on Permalinks. You'll want to set the permalink structure to post name. This is best for SEO and results in a much cleaner URL. The other permalink options tend to be cluttered, showing dates and a lot of extra info you don't really need. choosing post name is actually the optimal SEO choice and the best permalink setup overall. So select post name, scroll down, and hit Save Changes. All right, now let's head over to our dashboard. Congrats on getting your new domain and web hosting all set up. It's really straightforward. Hostinger definitely makes the whole process super simple. In this upcoming section, I'll guide you through the general settings and show you how to install a WordPress theme. After that, we'll import a starter template and customize it to your preferences. By the end, you'll have a sleek, professional-looking WordPress website. Ready? Let's dive in. Step 2. Install theme and import starter template. First, a quick overview of WordPress themes and plugins. Head over to Plugins and click on Add New. Now, what exactly is a WordPress plugin? WordPress is the top CMS worldwide, largely thanks to its extensive plugin marketplace. There are over 50,000 plugins available in the WordPress ecosystem to enhance your site's capabilities. A WordPress plugin adds extra features to your website. For instance, you can install a plugin to create a contact form, add e-commerce functionalities, or integrate SEO tools to improve your site's ranking in Google search results. Think of plugins like apps on your smartphone. Any feature you want, just download and install it. Most WordPress plugins are free, with optional pro versions available through the developer sites. Feel free to browse around and find the plugins that best fit what you want on your WordPress site. Now, moving on to WordPress themes. Head over to Appearance and click on Themes. Then hit Add New at the top. You'll see a collection of available WordPress themes. So what exactly is a WordPress theme and what role does it play? Every WordPress site depends on a theme. It's essentially the outer shell of your website, shaping its look and style. A theme manages key parts of your site like the header, footer, blog page, and shop page. It doesn't create the content itself, but provides the framework where page builders place your content. Most themes are free and come with a decent set of features, while premium, pro versions are available for purchase directly from the theme developers, with prices varying. Take your time to explore different themes and find the one that fits your site best. Many themes offer a range of templates and design multiple site components, including headers, footers, and other sections. For this tutorial, we'll search for Astra theme. This is a fresh, modern theme that includes lots of beautifully crafted template kits ready to install on your site. Once you find the Astra theme, click Install. Then activate it. After activation, you'll see the option to install a starter template. All right, let's move forward and select Install Starter Templates. Now they ask you, how would you like to build your website? We have two choices: AI Website Builder if you want to build your website with AI, and Classic Starter Template, and that's what we want. I'll choose the Classic Starter Template, so click on Build with Template. Here, I'm selecting Elementor, but you can pick whichever you prefer. You'll see various categories such as business, local business, personal care, etc. Choose one based on your preference. I'll pick Professional, then click Web Designer. Next, I'll select a Web Design Portfolio. I'll install this starter template on my site. You can also easily add your logo by clicking Upload Files and choosing your logo file from your computer. You can resize the logo width from here. Choose your website's default color scheme. I'm going with the second color palette in the second line. After that, pick the fonts for your website. For me, that's Poppins and Lato. Then click Continue. Here, they ask you to select features, but we won't need these features right now, and we can add them later manually. So click Skip this step. In the last step to install the starter template, they will ask you to fill in the blanks with your first name, then your work email, and next, they want to know if you are a beginner, an expert, or intermediate. Next field, are you building that website for your company or your client? Then check the box that says Understand, let's go. Finally, click on Submit and Build My Website. The starter templates will begin importing to your site. Once installation finishes, click on View Your Website. As you can see, the starter template has been successfully installed on our WordPress site. And just like that, you've got a fully imported, beautiful WordPress website. Scrolling through, you'll notice the images came in perfectly, and all the content is intact. We also see some extras like web design services and various buttons, all of which you can customize as you like. There's a frequently asked questions section, and the footer sits neatly at the bottom. Let's scroll back up and take a look at other pages. Clicking on About Us brings us to that page, where more content awaits. Feel free to explore all these pages. You can view, edit, or delete them anytime. It's handy to have all these ready on your WordPress site.
Step 3. Design website using Elementor.
Now, let's head back to the home page and dive into designing your site with the Elementor Page Builder. With the templates nicely set up on your WordPress website, we'll use Elementor's free version to build out the design. I'll guide you through using the Page Builder, including how to add sections and leverage the AI feature to assist you in the process. How to work with the Elementor Flexbox? In this part of the video, you'll learn how to navigate the Elementor Page Builder. By the end of this segment, you'll be familiar enough to use Elementor Pro confidently. With that said, let's dive right in and start designing the site using Elementor. Let's begin. Alright, let me give you a quick 10 to 15 minute crash course on Elementor. To start, let's create a fresh page. Up top, under Plus New, click Page. For the title, I'll enter Practice since this will serve as our practice page. In the top right corner, click Publish, then Confirm by clicking Publish again. I want to hide the page title because I prefer to work with a blank canvas, so I'll select Hide Title and then hit Save. To enable Elementor Page Builder from the back end, simply click Edit with Elementor, and this activates the Builder interface. This screen shows the Elementor UI. Before moving forward, I'll quickly demonstrate how to modify the style of elements. I'll click on the element or logo, then go to User Preferences. If you prefer a lighter interface, you can select Light Mode. If you want a darker theme that's easier on the eyes, you can opt for Dark Mode. Personally, I'll keep Dark Mode since it's clearer for me. Next, I'll click Add Elements. To get started, let's insert some rows by clicking the plus icon. Now you'll see two different layout options. I'll explain both options, but for now, let's just click on Flexbox. Next, you'll notice columns with down and right arrows. I'll cover what those mean shortly. For now, let's pick a 2-column row. Now that the 2 columns appear, I'll hit the plus elements button so we can drag and drop stuff onto the page. For example, I'll grab a heading text element and you'll see the text appear. Each element comes with 3 tabs: Content, Style, and Advanced. The Content tab handles the actual text or content for the element. The Style tab lets you customize typography, fonts, colors, and even add effects like text strokes or animations. Then, the Advanced tab manages margins and padding. So if you want to add space around your element, this is where you do it. Plus, you can add fancy stuff like motion effects here. Scrolling down to motion effects, you can animate a specific module. There are options like zoom in, down rotate, and others. Honestly, some animations look pretty ugly, so don't go overboard with them. There are more settings beyond this, but we'll get into those later. For now, let's select the Content tab. Here, you can change what the element says. Then, clicking on Add Elements again brings us back to the Element screen, where we can drag in more elements. Next, I'll grab an image and drag it onto the page. When you spot that little pink line appear, that's where you can drop the element and it will show up there. So, I'll pick an image by clicking on the Media Library. When you use Astra theme, they provide a bunch of free demo images, so you can use any of those on your site. I'll select this one here and hit Select. Scrolling down a bit, I'll click on Add Elements again, and we can continue adding more components. For instance, there's a text editor element. Dragging that in, we can then edit the text, and it will appear shortly. There it is. Finally, to wrap this up, let's add a button. I'll drag a button in. And here you can change the button text, something like Buy Now. For the link, one of the neat features with Elementor is that you just type the page name and it automatically links to that page. So, I'll type Contact, and Elementor will find the permalink for the contact page and set it up for you. In the next section, you'll see you could customize further. For example, you can pick a different text color or change the background color. To change the background, just close that panel and the button color updates immediately. Pretty cool, right? That's how you tweak the colors of your buttons. Now, if you want to add more content here, just click on the elements again. Maybe you want to embed a YouTube video or something else. All right, let me quickly break down the elements you see on the left side. First, there are the basic elements you can use for free with the Elementor Page Builder. If we scroll down a bit, you'll notice some Pro elements. These are exclusive to the Elementor Pro version. Honestly, if you're just putting together a simple website, you don't really have to use the Pro elements. They're helpful, but not essential for most sites. Scrolling further reveals the general elements, which you can also add to your site. If you're unsure what any of these do, just drag and drop them onto your page and see for yourself. For instance, take this icon with a heading and some description. You can easily change the title and description here. Under the Style tab, you control the color and size of those elements. For any element, you can right-click to duplicate or delete it. The same works for rows and columns. So, when we duplicated an element earlier, we can do the same for a whole row by right-clicking on the container and choosing Duplicate. If you want to remove a part, just right-click and delete it, like removing a column. All right. Now, if you want to customize the background of a container, click on Edit Container. You can tweak its width and height. We'll get more into those settings later. Under the Style tab, you'll see background type options. Selecting Classic lets you add a background color. Once you apply a color to this column, it will show up as the background for that box. Just like adding a background color to one box, you can also add color to the entire section by clicking the 6 dots icon. Those 6 dots let you control all elements within that section. Again, under the Style tab, pick Classic and select a background color. You'll notice the color applies to all boxes except the middle one, since we already set its color. Simple and straightforward. Here's something cool. You can add shape dividers. I really like these. Click on Shape Divider and choose a design, say mountains. It adds a decorative shape and you can adjust the width and height. There are tons of styles like drops and clouds. Making them bigger or smaller lets you get creative with your page design. Also, you can duplicate complete sections, not just columns. For example, just like we duplicated individual columns, right-click on a section and duplicate it. Scroll down and you'll see that the entire section has been cloned. All right, to save any changes you've made on your site, just click on Publish. That action locks in all your hard work so far. Now, say you accidentally move something out of place, like swapping 2 elements around. No worries. You can always revert using the revision history. Just click on the Elementor logo, then hit History. From there, you can step back through your previous edits and undo mistakes easily, essentially traveling back to any point while you were building. Now, let's talk about making your layout full width. Notice here it's boxed. This is controlled in the Page Settings gear icon. Under Astra Settings, find the container layout and check this option. Then click on Unboxed. This change stretches the entire page horizontally, so all your columns expand across the screen. Feel free to experiment during your own time. Drag elements around as you like. For example, if you want to add a video, maybe delete something first and then insert a video widget. Each element has its own settings. You can add links, toggle autoplay or mute, and more. In the Style tab, you can adjust the aspect ratio and apply CSS filters like brightness or saturation. CSS filters work not just on videos, but also on images. It's like having a mini Photoshop built right into your editor. Just click on an image, open Style, then CSS filters, and you can tweak the hue, saturation, and other effects on the fly. It's pretty amazing how much control you get without leaving the page builder. All right, let's remove this and also get rid of that. Moving on, let's dive into Flexbox. Flexbox can be one of the trickier concepts to grasp. So I'll click on the Flexbox again, but this time I'll choose the down arrow. Now I'm going to insert a new container inside it. That means there's a container nested within this one. Next, I'll drag some elements into that container. I'll add a text editor first, and then I'll drop in a button. Imagine you want to position this button to the right side of the text. However, you'll notice that these elements are lining up horizontally by default. This is exactly where Flexbox comes in handy to adjust how items are laid out inside a container. I'll select the Edit Container option, and under Direction, you'll see choices like horizontal, vertical, and more. For example, setting the direction to horizontal arranges the elements side by side. If you want them reversed, you can flip the order. The default is vertical stacking, but you can also do a column reverse, which puts the elements on top. Using Flexbox this way is actually a superior alternative to relying on margin and padding because it creates websites that respond better across devices. If you want to insert two buttons, this is a pretty common web design approach because you want to offer visitors two different choices that take them to various parts of the site. Flexbox handles this well. For instance, if I add another element beneath the button, you'll see they stack vertically, and I can't easily place them side by side. If I switch the container to horizontal, everything lines up in a row, which is not quite what I want. To fix this, I'll insert another Flexbox container. So I'll add a new container here, then drag the buttons inside it. Now that both buttons are within this Flexbox, I can control their layout more precisely. I'll set this container's direction to horizontal. Next, there's the Justify Contents setting. This lets you arrange the buttons in different ways. For example, you can center them, space them evenly, add space between them, or space around them. You get the idea. We can also adjust how the items align vertically, though since this box is fairly large, that example won't illustrate much right now. I'll show you a better one later. If you want to create spacing or increase the gap between elements, you can simply adjust the gap value or add padding manually. Putting the alignment to center keeps that gap consistent and neat. This approach makes it way easier to manage the layout of elements inside containers. All right, let's rebuild my landing page. 3 text blocks followed by 2 buttons. All right, let's start fresh. I'll hit the plus sign and add a Flexbox, picking the horizontal one first. Then, I'm going to grab another container. I'll explain why as we go, but it just gives us better control over the layout. First up inside this container, I'll add a text editor. Something like, "Get your first website." Next, I will add a heading element. Click on the plus icon, search for heading, and drag it below the first text. Then, edit it. I will write, "You will create amazing website today." Notice it stretches across the entire page, which I'm not a fan of. The whole reason we nested one Flexbox inside another is so we can adjust the width more precisely. Right now, the content width is set to full, but I want to make it a bit more compact. I'm thinking about setting the width to around 54, which keeps things neat and manageable. Then I'll add another text editor below. Looks pretty solid. Lastly, I'll add one more container inside here to hold the buttons. Click on Add Element, so I drop a button in, then duplicate it. By now, you probably get why we're doing this. With the Flexbox, I can easily line these 2 buttons side by side. Click on Edit Container. Then, set the direction to raw horizontal. However, having both buttons violet is kind of ugly. So, click on the Edit button. Then, click on Style. The best practice is to use contrasting button colors to appeal to different visitors. For example, I'll style the first button to black, and I will change the text color to white. Then, I will change the second button to a light violet color. Now, looking better already. Next, I want to simplify the button text. Instead of repeating "click here," I'll make one say "Contact us" and the other something like "Buy now" or "About us." I'll link the About Us button to the About page and the Contact Us button to the Contact page. And there we have it. Clean, functional buttons and layout set up just right. All right, let's say you want to place an image on the right side. There are several ways to approach this. One option is to simply create a two-column row. Place the text in one column and the image in the other. Or you could use Flexbox in a more creative way. This method is a bit more advanced, but I want to show you how it's done. I'll grab an image and put it below this box. Let me pick an image. So now, this image is placed beneath that section. Much like we used Flexbox for those two buttons, we can apply Flexbox to this whole section. If I set the layout to horizontal, you'll see everything aligned side by side in a clean, neat way. That's just one approach. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm opening your mind to different Flexbox possibilities. To adjust the size of your heading, begin by clicking on Edit Heading. Next, go to the Style tab, then choose Typography. Finally, adjust the heading size to your preference. You might notice there's a lot of space around here, and instead of messing you padding or margins, we can use Flexbox to arrange everything inside neatly. I'll click on Flexbox, then on Justify Contents and set it to center so everything's nicely centered. You could also try Space Evenly, Space Around, Start, or other options. Plus, you can add a gap between elements here, which lets you control the spacing easily. As you can see, Flexbox is super useful in many ways. It takes some practice, but it's very responsive and simplifies layout work. Now, if you want to add a background color here, I'll click on these 6 dots, then Style, and just like with this box's background earlier, you can pick a solid color or add gradients. If you want a gradient, you add 2 colors, choose the location for each, and set the angle. That way, you get a clean circular rotation effect. You can also pick radial, which starts the gradient from the center. I personally think the radial looks ugly, so I won't use it. Linear gradients look pretty sleek. All right, that's just one example of how you can build a visually appealing landing page using Flexbox. Let's quickly add one more section. Scrolling down now, let's talk about these icons. This one lets you create rows, while this area is for inserting templates and blocks. For instance, the blocks here are Pro elements, so you'll need Elementor Pro to use them. Honestly, I'm not a big fan. Their designers aren't the best. Some of these look decent, but others are pretty outdated and just plain ugly. Then there's the Pages section, which also has Pro pages, so those are all part of the Pro package. But what I really like is My Templates. Templates are saved sections of your site that you can reuse anywhere on your website. For example, I can right-click on this section and choose Save as a Template, name it, and click Save. After that, if I close this and scroll down to the Templates area, I'll see the saved template and can insert it wherever I want on the site. Just click Insert, then Apply, and boom. You have a brand new section imported from your template library. This is a great approach if you create something you like and want to use it in multiple places. I'll go ahead and delete this section. Now, they also have Elementor AI. To be honest, it still needs a lot of improvement. It's not great yet. That's just my take, but I'll show you how to use it anyway, just in case. If you're watching this and wondering about AI for websites, is it worth it? Here's my personal opinion. AI website builders might seem like a fast and easy way to whip up a site, but they often come with hidden drawbacks that make things frustrating and expensive over time. Sure, AI can churn out a basic website in minutes, but it usually lacks the customization and personal touch you get from a traditional designer. These AI tools might pick layouts or styles that don't fit your brand, and fixing that can be a big pain. I don't recommend AI builders. You'll probably end up spending more money trying to get what you could have made yourself in minutes. But if you want to see how it works, I'll walk you through it. First, I'll connect to the Elementor AI website by clicking Connect. Signing in with your Gmail, then click Connect again, and check the box of agreement.
Then click Get Started.
Then you enter a prompt. Honestly, it's not great at building whole sections, but it's quite handy for generating CSS code. Then click Generate. It will then show us 3 different versions to choose from. All right, it actually got a few things right here. It generated this section for us. If you like one of these 3 options, click on it and click on Use Layout. And from there, you can customize the design however you want. You can change the image, the name text, and the job title. Not bad at all, but keep in mind this is a paid feature. It's free for a limited time, and after you hit a certain usage limit, they'll start charging you. So it's your call whether to use Elementor AI. Honestly, I find creating a website based on what you want easier than trying to guess what the AI will throw at you. Anyway, I'll just delete this and create one more section before we move on to the homepage. Now, let's pick the grid for this next part. At first, you might not be a fan of how it looks, but hear me out. It can actually be pretty neat. I'll select this 3-column row right here. When I insert elements, you'll see that if I add more, it pushes extra elements into the next column. So you can't really add more elements inside a single column directly. For example, if I add something here, it just drags over to the next column. There's actually a trick to work around this, and I'll share a handy shortcut. You can add containers and then nest multiple elements inside those containers. So, for instance, I'll add a heading. Then a button. Throw in an image. Maybe another image over here. And place that container there. I will add some pictures. It makes it possible to build more complex sections. Pretty cool, right? Here you can craft a section with multiple images or elements grouped together. Okay, I went ahead and made this section. A quick tip. You'll probably notice each section sits too close to the top edge. To fix this, click the 6 dots, go to the Advanced tab, and uncheck the padding option there. Then add some top space. Give it some breathing room on your site. You should do this for each section, honestly. Let's say something like 80 pixels to create a nice gap. All right, let's click on Layouts. You'll notice this is organized as a grid, and there are several options available. You can add more columns right here, and also increase the number of rows. Plus, you can set gaps between all these sections. I usually find these controls especially handy for portfolios. If you're aiming to build a sleek portfolio, these features simplify the process. You can easily add more images and tweak them to fit your design. On top of that, you have control over the grid's width. This grid system seems primarily designed with portfolios and images in mind, but there are plenty of creative ways to leverage it. Essentially, it streamlines building your site by automatically creating columns where you can add content as needed. Here's another neat trick. you can toggle between Grid and Flexbox modes. Switching to Flexbox removes all those grid lines, giving you a stacked look. And if you want, you can just switch back to the grid view anytime. Okay, I'll close this now, then jump back into Flexbox. I'll click the plus button and add a Flexbox container. I'll set the direction to row, then start adding images. I'll use some small logos here. You don't have to mimic me exactly, but I want to demonstrate how this kind of setup can come in handy. Alright, I dragged in another image and one more after that. So now we've got 4 images lined up here. With Flexbox, you can control how these elements behave inside. For example, if I select the whole section and switch the layout to vertical, all the images stack on top of each other. If I flip it to reversed, the order of the images flips as well. We actually use this technique on the demo site. When you see how the images are lined up side by side, it's basically a Flexbox set horizontally, arranging everything neatly in a row. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. You've got enough hands-on experience now, so let's head over to the homepage. I'm done with this practice page. Now that we've got a grasp on Elementor and Flexbox, let's examine how the homepage was built. From Dashboard, click on Visit Site or open it in a new tab. This is our homepage. At the top of the page, click on Edit with Elementor. Now we can edit this homepage, and we will start with the icon box. Just click on it or click on the pen icon. From here, you can change the icon and choose another one, depending on your needs. As you see, the icon changed. Also, you can change the title, add a description here if you want, and make this part clickable by adding a link of your choice. Just type the name of any page on your website, and it'll show up in this field. I'll type Contact, and the Contact Us page will pop up. Click on it, and boom. From Style, you can revise the icon position, change the vertical alignment, and reduce the box spacing or the content spacing. If you want to make changes in the icon, click on the icon, and here you can change the color, as well as resize it, making it bigger or smaller. About the content, you can change the font of a title and the size of the font and the colors. Regarding the color, there are 2 options. The first is normal, and you can see it now, but the second choice is hover. And when you place the mouse on this title, it will change automatically. And this is for the description if you added it before, and you will follow the same steps. Now move to the advanced and click on it. In layout, you can see margin and catting. Let's start with the margin. Margin is the space outside an element, between that element and the other elements around it. It controls how far the element stays away from other sections, blocks, or columns in your WordPress layout. Increasing the margin pushes the element away from nearby content. You can choose where you want to apply the margin from these boxes, top and right, bottom and left. Next, padding is the space inside an element, between the content and the element's border. It adds breathing room within the box. For example, if you have a button or text block, increasing the padding will create more space inside that element, making it look cleaner and more spacious. You can change the width to custom, and you can reduce or increase it. You can align the box to the left or the right. From the order, you can make the box at the bottom or put it at the top. Also, you can add a motion effect by clicking on Motion Effect. And you click on this field under Entrance Animation, and you can choose Fade In or Fade In Down, and more. We have the background, and from here, you can choose a gradient and change both colors or just classic, and it means one color. From here, you can adjust it as you can see. Also, you can choose an image for the background from here. If you want to edit the heading, just click on it or click on the pen. And from here, you can change the content and also add a link to this heading to make it clickable like a button. Under Style, you can adjust the font of the heading. Just click on that pen in Typography. Here, you can modify the font family. For me, the Poppins font is good. You can edit the weight, and from here, you can transform the text color. Besides, you can reduce or increase the margin and padding. Likewise, you can add motion effects to this heading to make it more attractive. We talked about containers and how to edit them or add one, and how you can change the container layout and the direction. You can adjust the content and write what you want. Under Style, you can change the alignment, the font family, and the color. Moreover, you can edit the button and add the link that you want to redirect the user to. Also change the font, the text color, and the color of the button, like what we did before. Let's talk about the image. You can add an image for you or your team, and if you want it like that one without a background, first, you have to remove the background online or using Photoshop. From Style, you can adjust the alignment and the width and the height. Also, the capacity. Likewise, you can add a border to the image. Besides, I can add a motion effect, and I will choose Light Speed In. And if you want to adjust the background of the whole section, just click on these 6 dots, then go to Style and click on Classic, and here you can change the color for the whole section's background. And if you want a gradient, you have to click here. After that, you can modify the colors that you like. Scroll down if you want to add a section. You can do that by clicking the plus icon here. And like what we made before, you can add what you want, like a template, or add a Flexbox or grid. I'll close it now. Let's modify this section, especially this container. We can do that in the same way we did before when we discussed Flexbox. We can change the direction, reduce or increase gaps between these boxes, and also change the icon here. Additionally, you can modify the description and title, and make the whole box clickable to redirect users to any link you want. In this video tutorial, I've demonstrated how the same steps and settings can be applied to most Elementor elements in WordPress. Whether you're working with buttons, images, or text blocks, you'll see that many of the techniques I cover are consistent throughout. This makes it easier to create a cohesive design for your site. To unlock cool customization features for your social media buttons. As you can see in this container, we have a range of buttons and icons neatly lined up for various social media accounts. It's super easy to personalize them. First, click on any icon you want to modify, just like this. If you want more icons, you can duplicate the icon and modify them. Once you've selected your icon, you can easily add your social media links right here. And if you want to switch things up, you can change those icons and colors to suit your brand. It's a breeze. So whether you're promoting your latest TikTok dance or your Pinterest boards, you'll have flashy new icons that reflect your style. And you can make it bigger or smaller. We're going to elevate your Elementor website by adding some professional flair with counters. These will highlight your years of experience, projects delivered, and client satisfaction. First, let's find the counter widget. Just drag it into your page wherever you want these stats to appear. Here, you'll see the basic settings. This is where the magic begins. You can customize your counter by entering your figures. For instance, if you've got 5 years of experience, type that number in. Change it to showcase project milestones or client satisfaction ratings. Whatever numbers tell your story. You can change the font color. By now, you should have a pretty clear understanding of how to use the Elementor Page Builder. It's not as complicated as it might seem. We'll use the same method and steps we've applied to all previous elements, ensuring a smooth and straightforward process for constructing your website. This familiarity will make the entire building experience effortless and enjoyable, allowing you to easily bring your vision to life without unnecessary complications. Next up, let's add a new section between these existing ones and create a call to action. This is a super common style. A call to action is a part of your website designed to invite users to click. Here, you can see I have some text and a button. To build this, I'll click the plus sign to add a new section. Then select Flexbox. I'll choose the down arrow for vertical layout and then start adding modules. There's no single correct way to use Elementor. You might build this section using a button, text, a background, or a combination. But to keep it simple, I'll begin with a text editor. For the first text editor, I'll type in number 1 for the small business. Next, I add another text editor. This second text will use the H3 tag, which is a bit smaller than H2, fitting nicely for this kind of supporting text. All right, next, I'll add some additional text underneath, followed by a button just below that. Then, I'll quickly update this text. Make sure to incorporate the element labeled text editor so we can easily modify the content as needed. Additionally, add a button at the bottom of this section to enhance interactivity. These additions will not only allow for convenient updates to your content, but also give users a clear way to engage further, making the section more interactive and user-friendly. So for this section, the initial priority is ensuring it spans the full width of the page. I want it stretching edge to edge, and I'll center everything by setting Align Items to Center. Next on the list is adding a background. I'll select Edit Container. Then, under Style, I'll pick Classic and add a background color. I'm thinking black for this background. After that, I'll update all the text colors to white. So, for this particular text, I'll go into Style and switch the color to white. I'll open Style, then, for text color, set it back to default. We've set up global fonts and colors ahead of time. I'll explain more about that shortly, but this helps us avoid guessing which colors to stick with throughout the site. The same approach applies here for this text color. All right, let me quickly show you a handy trick called Copy and Paste. I'll start by right-clicking on this top element and selecting Copy. Then I'll go to another element, right-click again, and choose Paste Style. Basically, I'm taking the styling from one element and applying it to another. This works really well for buttons in particular. After pasting the style, notice how this section is nicely organized now? One adjustment I made on the other site was reducing the gap. So here, I just added a bit of gap spacing. Next, I added a background to a specific text item. You can do this by heading over to the Advanced tab and scrolling down to Backgrounds. There, you can insert backgrounds between elements, which is pretty neat. I'll pop in a small background here. Looks like we have an orange color in our global settings for buttons. Let's grab that. If you want to make it round, that's what border radius is for. So I'll scroll down to Border Settings, not Background, and add some border radius. This rounds the edges, giving a more circular shape. Now you see the color appearing behind the text. You'll notice it's square-shaped. That's how you can recreate this kind of section. It's not pixel perfect, but visually, it's nearly identical. By now, I think you get the idea. Keep scrolling and continue building your site however you want with Elementor. It's a pretty user-friendly page builder. No steep learning curve. Now, let's finish by publishing our changes. Alright, so after I hit publish, I'll go ahead and view the page. Here's our landing page. As we scroll down, we can see the images and the content. Continuing to scroll, there's the new section we added, which closely resembles our website. We could have made it a bit smaller, but I think the main idea is clear. That gives you a basic overview of how to work with the Elementor Page Builder. Feel free to head over to your other pages here and start using the Page Builder on them as well. For example, I'll open the About Us page and click on Edit with Elementor. From there, you have the same Page Builder interface to customize that page. Just like the home page, you can design every part of your site with the builder. It's a pretty smooth tool, though it might take a little while to get used to. I'm sure you're getting the hang of it now. To exit, I'll click on View Page again, and then we can check out other parts of the website. Okay, so now let's jump back to the home page. Next, I want to highlight some Elementor features. I'll open the Page Builder again. You don't have to follow exactly. I just want to show you some useful options. First up, over here, you'll see the Preview button. This lets you open a preview in a new tab without leaving your current window. Next to that is the Help button, where you can access support. And here's the Finder, which helps you quickly search for and jump to other pages. So, for instance, if you want to head to the Contact page, it'll take you straight there, where you can edit the Contact page directly without having to close and reopen anything. Now I'll go back to the home page. There we go. Up next are announcements. Elementor often rolls out updates and keeps adding new features. But what I've noticed recently is they're really pushing their other plugins, which can get a bit annoying. Still, it's a solid product, just not really my thing. Then we have the page settings, where you can hide the title and switch the layout to full width. Most pages are usually set to Elementor's full width, so it's best to keep that as your default page size. Over here is the Home button, which lets you search across other pages quickly. Now, on this side, we've got the Structure panel called the Navigator. The Navigator shows you what elements are inside each container. When you open the drop-down, you'll see that if I click a box here, it highlights that section on the page. Opening it further lets me view all the elements nested inside. This feature is especially handy if you're working on a custom header in the Pro version, because sometimes it's tricky to select certain elements. If you find it tough to click or locate something, the Navigator comes in really handy. Another cool thing about the Navigator is you can drag and drop entire sections. For example, if I want to move the work section above the hero area, I just drag it to the top. There we go. The work section is now up top. If I want it below again, I just drag it right back down. You can also right-click on sections here to duplicate or delete them. Like, I duplicated those rows, so now there are 2 of them, and I can right-click one to delete it if I want. This tool is great if you want quick jumps between sections or more control over your page layout. Personally, I don't use the navigator that often because I can usually see and select everything I need directly. But sometimes it's really useful. All right, I'll go ahead and close the navigator now. Next, let's dive into the site settings. Think of site settings as a basic built-in theme customizer. Here, you'll find global colors. When you imported this particular template, we set up some default global colors for you. If you'd like, you can always adjust these global colors. You can switch them to any color you prefer, maybe violet, or change base fonts as needed. Plus, you can add additional custom colors too. These custom colors will show up when users select the style options. For example, I'll add a new color here, call it New Color, and set it as black. So now we have this new color black added. I will add another color. When you finish, click on Save Changes. That's an example of how global colors work, and the same concept applies to global fonts. So I'll go into Site Settings, then open Global Fonts. Global fonts let you adjust fonts for primary, secondary, text, accent, and you can add more for buttons, H1, H2, H3, and other tags. You can modify fonts for each tag and also set specific presets for paragraphs, which are the main body text. You can choose the font family, size, and other settings. These preset fonts save your selected fonts across all elements. To add a font to your website, start by clicking on the Add Style button. This will allow you to create a new style and customize it to your liking. First, give your style a unique name that helps you identify it later. After naming it, you'll see several options to personalize your font. You can choose the font family that fits your theme and adjust the font size to ensure it stands out just right. Additionally, you can modify the font weight for a bolder or lighter appearance. Decide how the text should be transformed, like uppercase or lowercase, and select a suitable style, such as italic or normal. You'll also have the option to add decorative elements, adjust the line height for better readability, and tweak the letter and word spacing for that perfect look. Once we're happy with all these modifications, don't forget to click Save Changes to keep everything in place. This way, your typography will look exactly how you envisioned it. And if you want to see that font, we will go to the editor and click on this heading. Go to Style, then click on the ball in Typography. Then you will see the font that you added, and you can change the preference like any font. Now, going back to site settings briefly, under Images, you can add borders to your all images. For instance, I'll add a double border, and as a result, all images on the site get that double border frame. Finally, there's one more option under Settings that I usually avoid. These elements often conflict with other parts of your website, so I steer clear of them. That said, the Design System feature itself is quite useful. When building your website, I suggest starting by creating styling options first. After that, you can tweak the theme style if needed. However, I usually avoid these particular settings because they tend to cause conflicts with other elements or parts of my sites. Now, I'll click on Save Changes. That basically covers the general options in the Elementor page builder. Next, let's move on to mobile optimization. I can't emphasize enough how crucial this is. The reason being, as of 2025, mobile users outnumber desktop users, so it's vital your website is optimized across all devices. In this segment, we'll focus on optimizing the website for tablets and mobile devices. Actually, we want to ensure our site works well on all devices, PCs, tablets, and mobiles alike. Before diving in, let's briefly review why mobile optimization matters. Mobile optimization means making sure your website appears properly on phones and tablets. A mobile-optimized site adjusts itself to smaller screens and provides smoother navigation for users. Always aim to have your website fully optimized across all devices so visitors have a great experience. Remember, there are more mobile users than desktop users nowadays, so it's important to get this right. Our first step is to check the tablet settings. When creating these templates, we already optimize them for all devices, including tablets and mobiles. So you generally don't need to manually adjust this. My team and I have already taken care of all this for you. But suppose you want to learn how to manage it yourself. For example, maybe you want to center this title only on tablets, but keep it aligned differently on desktop. I'll click on the pencil icon to edit. Go to Style. Once you're in tablet view, you'll notice the small icons for desktop, tablet, and phone. For the tablet device, I'll center this title. I'll do the same for the portrait style here. Center that as well. The button will also be centered. By going to Advanced, then search for Align Self and choose Center. As you can see, the process is different. We will do the same process to center the icon box. See how everything aligns to the center here in tablet mode? There might be some elements you'd prefer not to show on tablets. For instance, do we really need this image? Maybe, but I don't think it's necessary for tablets. You have the option to hide specific sections on different devices. I'll select this image, go to the Advanced tab, scroll down, and find Responsive. Responsive settings let you hide particular elements on certain devices. I don't want this image to appear on tablets or mobiles, so visitors to my website won't see the image. They'll only see the text here along with the elements below. Now, for this section, we can apply Flexbox to better arrange the elements. For the direction, I'll set it to vertical, and then for alignment, I'll choose End. Essentially, we're rearranging these elements specifically for tablet devices. You can definitely customize this if you want by moving things around, but I think this layout works well for tablets. Scrolling down, you can also center elements if you wish by selecting Center Alignment for tablets, and so forth. That's how you can optimize your site for tablets. Since we've done this already, you usually won't have to go through and make these changes manually. But if you want, for example, this section looks pretty unappealing. First, I will adjust this text editor to center first. So, we'll hide this entire section by clicking those 6 dots. And just like how we hid the image earlier, I'll hide the whole section. Go to Advanced, then Responsive, select Hide on Tablets, and Hide on Mobile. Pretty neat, right? Alright, let's switch over and open the mobile preview now. Click on Mobile Portraits to focus on the mobile layout. As you see, we can't see the whole text behind Wilson, so we have to make his image a little bit smaller. So click on the pencil, then under Style, search for Height, and reduce it, like that. A frequent step is adjusting the text size. Seriously, do we need all this text here? We could either hide some of it or reduce its size. In the typography settings, Under Size, you'll notice the adjustment only impacts mobile. Let's shrink the text a bit because it feels too big for mobile screens. Now we have to fix the headline and make it clear to the users. Just click on it or the pencil and go to Style. Then go to Typography. Increase the size to the best size. But as you can see, it's so bold, so I will change the weight type to 300 light, like that. Now it's cool. There's a lot of empty space. That's because we've applied a margin. But on the mobile preview, that margin doesn't look great. For alignment, I'll set them to center. It looks much cleaner that way. Keep scrolling. How's this looking so far? What do you think? You're the judge. That section is hidden. Taking another look here, okay. Let's center this section as well. Everything appears good. So next, let's publish these changes. To exit the mobile preview, click on Desktop. This returns us to the original website editor view. Scrolling through, you'll see nothing has changed. The website looks exactly as it did before. Everything remains the same. Nothing here was modified. But now, since we're back to desktop view, we can see the banner again. Just remember, the changes we made only affect tablet and mobile layouts. I'm going to show you how to create a post in WordPress. Whether you're blogging for fun or running a business, it's super easy to get started. A WordPress post is a piece of content that you publish on your website or blog. Posts are ideal for news updates, articles, and blog entries that you want to share with your audience. Let's dive in. Now that I'm on the dashboard, I'm going to hover over the Posts tab on the left-hand menu. I'll click on Add New, or clicking on Posts, then clicking Add New. And that will take me to the editor, where I can start creating my post. The first thing you'll see is the Add Title field. This is where I'm going to enter the title of my post. I'll ensure it's catchy and relevant to my content, so readers know exactly what they're getting into. Right below the title, you'll see the content area. This is where I'll write the body of my post. You can just start typing here, or you can paste content from somewhere else. So, to create a blog post, I will use ChatGPT to get a quick article just to show you how to put your text inside the editor. I'll copy the title and paste it in the title field. After that, I will copy the article to the editor below the title field next to the plus icon. I will show you how you can adjust the font of the title later. Next, I'm going to add a featured image. This is important because it shows up as a thumbnail on the homepage or in social media shares. Over here on the right, I'm going to click on Set Featured Image, upload my image, and then select Set Featured Image. If you face this problem on the title, you have to go back to the homepage and click Customize. Then click on Global. After Typography, scroll down to Heading Font. H1 font. Click on it, choose the font that you prefer. Then scroll to this box and reduce it to 1 or 2. Next, click Publish. You can change the type of the heading from H3 to H2 or H4. Also, you can make the paragraph bold or italic. You can insert a link inside a sentence or a word by selecting that word and clicking on the link icon. Just add the link that you want to redirect the user to, and that's all. You can align the paragraph to the center or the right, or align it to the left. You can duplicate any element by right-clicking and choosing Duplicate. You can copy or cut or delete any item you don't want. If you want to add an element, just click on the plus icon on the left. From these elements, you can add whatever you want, like a paragraph or a heading. Or you can add an image by dragging this element inside the editor. After that, you can add this image from the media library or your computer. Just choose that image and click Select, and boom! On the right side of the screen, I've got the options for categories and tags. Categories help organize your posts, so I'll choose one that fits my content. I will explain how you can add categories and set the menu after that. Tags, on the other hand, are like keywords, so I'm going to add some that are relevant to the topic of my post. Before I publish, I'm going to click the Preview button at the top to see how the post looks. This opens a new tab, and I can see exactly how it will appear to my readers. Once I'm happy with everything, I'm going to click the blue Publish button to make the post go live. If I'm not quite ready, I can always save it as a draft and come back to it later. And that's it. You've just learned how to create a post in WordPress. It's really that easy. Now let me show you how you can add categories. First, what are WordPress categories? WordPress categories are an essential feature for organizing your posts. They allow you to group related content, making it easier for your readers to navigate and find specific topics on your site. Log into your WordPress dashboard. In the left-hand menu, hover over Posts and click on Categories. By default, WordPress assigns posts to the uncategorized category if no other category is selected. Here's how you can change or modify it. Hover over Uncategorized and click on Quick Edit. I will change it to Website Designing. Then I will change the slug. The slug is the URL-friendly version of the category name. It will be part of the category's URL, and it's better to make it similar to the category name. Once you've made the changes, click Update Category to save them. Now that you've modified the uncategorized category, let's add a new category to organize your post better. On the left side, you'll see an option to add category. Name. Enter the name of the new category, example hosting. Slug. This is an optional field, but it's helpful for SEO. Parent category. If this category will be a subcategory of another, you can select a parent category from the drop-down list. If not, select none. Description. You can write a description for the category, but it's not mandatory. The description might be visible on some themes or pages. Then click Add Category. As you can see, we added a new category with the name Hosting. I will add another category with the same process. I'll add another one. You can edit these categories. Or you can delete them if you want. Now, I'm going to show you how to create and set up a navigation menu in WordPress. Now go to the left-hand menu and click on Appearance, then Menus. If you install the starter template, you probably already have a main menu set up. Let's check it out first. Here, you can see the existing menu called Main Menu. This was created automatically by the starter template you installed. It typically includes basic pages such as Home, About, Contact, and others. You can reorder these menu items by dragging and dropping them. You can also create drop-downs by indenting items under others. At the bottom, you'll see Menu Settings, the location assigned to this menu, often called Primary Menu, Off-Canvas Menu, and the Footer Menu. This is where your theme shows the menu on the front end. Let's take a quick look at the live site. As you can see, the menu appears in the header, exactly where the theme expects it. This is the footer, and you can see the menu appears here. This is the off-canvas menu. This is the main menu in tablets and phones when the user clicks these three dots or lines. Now, let's say you want to create a brand new menu, maybe for a different section or a footer menu. Here's how you do it. Click the Create a New Menu link here. Give your new menu a name, for example, Main Menu Number 2. Now, assign this menu to a location if your theme supports it, like the footer or a secondary menu spot. If not, you can use a widget or a plugin to display it. Then, click Create Menu. Alright, now let's add items to our secondary menu. Here on the left, you'll see your available items: pages, posts, custom links, and categories. To add pages, just click the option, then click View All to see all the pages and check the boxes, like Home or Contact. Then click Add to Menu. You can also add special posts by the same steps. Otherwise, I will choose one of the categories that I set. I will choose Website Designing. You can drag and drop to reorder your items or create drop-downs by indenting items slightly under others. Once you're happy with the structure, don't forget to click Save Menu. If you want to edit any menu, you can select the menu that you want to edit from this field. Then choose the menu. I will choose Main Menu and click Select. As you can see, the main menu shows up. Now let's add the secondary menu to the header. From the home page, go to the WordPress Customizer. In the Customizer, go to Header. You should already see your main menu listed there. Just click on the plus icon and a window will pop up. Choose the secondary menu that we set. As you can see right now, the menu shows up in the top left and you can move it by dragging it to the middle or the bottom of the header. Or you can change the main menu with it. You can also add the menu to the footer and sidebar. Once you assign the menu to the correct header location, make sure to click Publish at the top to save your changes. I'll show you how to create a blogs page that displays all your articles from various categories. Let's get started. First, let's create the page. From your WordPress dashboard, go to Pages and click on Add New. Name your page Blogs. Once that's done, click Publish. Don't forget to click Publish again to confirm it. Now, click View Page to check out how it looks. You'll notice that the title is hidden behind the logo. But don't worry, we'll fix that shortly. Next, we need to add this page to your main menu. Go to Appearance and Menus. In the Pages section, click View All. Find the Blogs page, check the box, and click Add to Menu. Finally, click Save Menu to add it to your navigation. Now go to the dashboard and refresh the page, and you will see the Blogs page appear in the menu. If we click on Blogs, this page is empty, so we need to do one more thing to make it contain all the articles on all the blogs. Now let's make this page show all of your posts. Head over to Settings, Reading. Under the Your Home Page Display section, choose a static page. Then in the Posts page dropdown, select Blogs. Make sure to click Save Changes when you're done. Now, if you refresh or click on the Blogs page, you should see the article from the Website Designing category. However, there's still one small issue. The header and the article content are blending together. Let's fix that by separating the header and content for better visual clarity. Now let's clean up the header. Go to Customize, Header. Scroll down to Header Types and choose Transparent Header. In the options that appear, disable the transparent header for just the blogs page. This will give your header a nice white background and help separate it from the blog content, making it easier to read. Click Publish to save all the changes. Now go back to your blogs page and refresh it. You should now see your posts appear, and the header should look clean and properly separated from the content. And that's it. You've successfully created a blog page that shows all your articles. All right, now we're diving into the Theme Customizer. Every WordPress theme comes with its own customizer, each offering different features and style options. I'll walk you through using the SS Theme Customizer, which lets you tweak your website's header and footer. In this segment, I'm going to explain everything about Astra Theme Customizer.
Step 4. Discover WordPress Theme Customizer.
You can open the customizer from the dashboard by going to Customize under the Appearance tab. Or, if you're on the home page, click on Customizer. On the left, you'll see all the sections you can edit. Let's kick things off with Global. Click the Global section in the Astra Theme Customizer, which is where you can set up some of the overall site styles that apply universally across your site. Typography. This is where you can control the font settings for your entire site. You can adjust the font family, size, weight, and style for things like your headings, body text, and more. You also have options for line height, letter spacing, and the font for specific areas like the site title or navigation. Comeback. Colors. In this section, you can define the color scheme of your website. You'll find settings to change the color of text, links, buttons, backgrounds, and more. It's super helpful for creating a consistent look throughout the site. Container. This controls the layout width for the content area. You can adjust the container width for elements such as pages, posts, and archives. It's useful for making sure everything fits well on the screen, whether you're working on a desktop or mobile. Buttons. Here you can customize the style of buttons across your site, including your color, typography, border radius, and hover effects. This helps to make buttons stand out in a way that matches your site's design. Let's go back. Now click on the header section. Start by selecting the option labeled Header Presets. Click on it to choose how you want your header to appear. You can replace the button with social media icons, keep it with a button, add a sign-up button next to the button, or center everything. For this example, I'll keep the button just like before. Below the Header Presets section, you'll find the preset components you've selected: site title and logo, off-canvas menu, button, primary menu. You can edit these either from the left sidebar or directly in the middle preview area. We'll go through both options. Let's begin with the left sidebar sections. Start with site title and logo. Here you can upload a new logo from your media library or directly from your computer. You can also adjust the logo's width. Additionally, you can change the site title. I'll set it to My Cash Process. Next, you can edit the tagline. I'll set it to Prospect in Digital. At the bottom, there's the site icon, which appears at the top of your browser tab. You can change it by clicking Change Image. Make sure your icon is square with dimensions of either 500 by 500 pixels or 800 by 800 pixels. When you're done, click Site Title and Logo Settings to go back. Then use the back arrow to return to the main customization menu. Next, let's examine the off-canvas menu, a valuable feature for mobile-friendly design. As you can see, when I switch to the tablet or the mobile mode, you can see this icon. I call it the hamburger icon. When you click on it, you will see the menu that you set. When you click this option, you'll be able to configure your off-canvas menu that slides in when you click the hamburger icon. This is a great way to declutter your header, especially for mobile and tablet users. You can add menu items, set their order, and decide if you want to enable or disable certain options like search or a shopping cart. Just create the menu and you will be able to add it here. Button customization. For buttons like Call to Action, you can configure them directly within the header settings. You can change the call to action name. You can link these buttons to internal pages or external links. Perfect for highlighting offers, services, or important information. Here in Design, you'll find options to adjust button style, color, background, padding, and typography. Primary menu. From here, you can choose which menu you want to be on the home page. Also, the same prospect to the secondary menu. The primary menu is the heart of your site's navigation. You can go into the menu section and organize your items. Here, you can drag and drop menu links, add custom links, and even create drop-downs for more complex navigation. Now we will go back to the transparent header. One of the cool features Astra offers is the transparent header option. This is ideal for websites that have a full-screen image or video on the homepage, and you want the header to seamlessly blend into the background. And you can choose where you want to add a transparent header and where you want to hide it. With the transparent header in Astra, you can easily customize the look of your header. Background colors. Change the background for the above header, primary header, and below header. Logo and text colors. Adjust the logo and text colors for better contrast on a transparent background. Menu and submenu. Modify the menu items and submenu colors, including hover effects. Button colors. Change the button color to make key actions stand out. All of these options allow you to tailor the header's design to fit your site's style and branding. Now, let's go back to explain how you can modify the header from these layouts here. Here, you'll see 3 layout options: above header, primary header, and below header. For this example, I want to customize the above header and insert a widget into it. To do that, hover your mouse over the bar. You'll see a plus icon appear. Click it. A widget menu will pop up. From this menu, you can choose a widget, such as social media icons. Click on it to insert your social media links. You can also select which platforms you want to display by clicking on the widget itself. To change an icon, simply click on it. You can search for the platform by name. For example, type YouTube, then click on it to apply. Change the name label to YouTube. Below that, you can add your URL for that platform. To add more icons, search for another one. Like Pinterest, click Add Icon and insert the corresponding link as we did before. There's also a Show Label option, which lets you decide whether or not to display the names of the social platforms alongside the icons. Additionally, you can control which devices these icons are visible on: desktop, tablet, or mobile, making your header responsive and clean across all screen sizes. From the Design tab, you can customize the color style of the social media icons. There are 2 options available: Custom and Official. In the Custom mode, you can adjust the icon colors to match your brand identity. You'll find options for the normal color and the hover color. The latter is the color the icon changes to when a user hovers their mouse over it. You can also customize the label color, the background color of the icon, and more. You have full control over the icon size, allowing you to scale them up or down. The icon spacing defines the space between individual icons. The icon background spacing refers to the padding between the icon and its background border. The icon radius adjusts the curvature of the icon's corners, rounding them for a softer appearance instead of sharp square edges. Lastly, the margin can also be adjusted, which we covered previously. In the Official mode, the icons appear in their default brand colors. Example: Twitter, blue; Pinterest, red. If you toggle this mode off, the icons will switch to black and white. To customize social media icons to match your brand, here are some options you can consider. Change the icon colors, icon size. Adjust the icons to be small or large depending on your layout needs. Icon spacing. Modify the distance between the icons for better alignment or spacing. Icon background. Set the background for your icons for better visual integration with your website or application. Icon radius. Adjust the corners of the icons to be rounded or more squared based on the desired style. Margins. Control the spacing around the icons to maintain a balanced and harmonized layout. These adjustments will help ensure your social media icons look cohesive with your brand's overall design. Also, I can control the header from this bar. And as you can see, I have 3 bars. The first is above header. This section appears at the very top of your website's header, above the logo and main menu. It's the place where I added the social media icons. It's ideal for displaying secondary information that doesn't need to stand out as much as your main navigation, like contact information, phone number, email, and social media icons. By clicking the settings icon, you'll see options in the left sidebar where you can adjust the header's height and choose where to show or hide it. In the design options, you can customize the background color, button border color, and the border thickness between this section and the primary header. You can also adjust the padding and margin for better spacing. Primary header. This is the main and central part of your site header, right in the middle of the header area. It holds the core branding and navigation elements of your website. You can add to it logo or site title, primary navigation menu, call to action button like Shop Now. By clicking the settings icon, you can adjust the height and colors, similar to the options available for the above header. Below header. This section is placed just below the primary header, under your logo and navigation. Act as a support area for extra information or elements that supplement your main header. You can add secondary menu or links, or you can add the search icon for live search. You can move it to the right. Click the plus icon to add widgets like links, buttons, or HTML text. You can easily reposition these elements by dragging them to your preferred spot within the header. Additionally, clicking on any element allows you to customize and control its settings. Now we will go back and click on Post Types. In Astra, you can customize how different types of content display on your website using the customizer. This includes the blog archive, individual posts, pages, search results, and custom post types, like portfolios or products. In Astra, the settings and design structure for different post types, such as blog posts, pages, search results, and custom post types, are largely the same. This consistency makes it easy to manage your site's appearance without needing to learn separate settings for each type. Since the design and settings are consistent across all post types, we'll explain one section in detail. We will explain the blog archive type. First, we need to select a category page or our blog page to see the live preview while making changes. I will choose the website's category page. Next, I will click on Blog Archive, where you will find several options to adjust. The first option is the blog title area. This controls the display and styling of the header section that appears at the top of your blog archive or category pages. It helps visitors understand their location on your site and improves navigation. Using this toggle, you can choose to show or hide the blog title area on your blog archive or category pages. When you click the arrow, you will see options to choose the banner layout style. As you can see, the background changes from white and box to transparent and full width. Switching this toggle will enable it on the blog page. In the structure section, you can hide the title by clicking the eye icon and do the same for the description if your category or blog page has one. Breadcrumbs. You can enable or disable breadcrumbs to display the navigation path, which helps visitors understand their location on your site. You can align the title vertically and horizontally using the available options. In the design section, you can adjust the banner's minimum height. The second option controls the spacing between inner elements, useful when you have multiple items in the title area to manage the space between them. You can also change the title color, text color, link color, and the link hover color, which appears when you hover the mouse over any link in the title area. To change the title font, click the arrow to access font options. The same applies to adjusting the text font. Additionally, you can set the margin and padding for the entire title area. Now let's go back to General and talk about container layout. The container layout setting controls the overall width and structure of the main content area on your blog archive, category, tag, and other listing pages. This setting determines how your blog posts are visually contained on the page, whether they stretch edge to edge or appear within a boxed layout. Currently, it is set to default, which here means normal, as you can see. But if I change it to full width, you'll notice the difference immediately. For now, I'll keep it on normal, as it looks better. The container style setting controls the visual appearance of the content container on your blog archive pages. Unboxed works well with full width layouts and clean minimal designs. Certainly, Boxed is ideal if you want your blog area to stand out with its own background color or a subtle border. Default is best for maintaining consistent styling across all pages without having to set each individually. The sidebar layout setting controls whether a sidebar appears on your blog archive pages, such as blog, category, and tag pages, and if enabled, where it is positioned about the main content. Choose No Sidebar for a modern, clean blog layout that focuses entirely on the content. Use Left Sidebar for a more traditional, magazine-style layout, or to give your sidebar greater visibility. Select Right Sidebar if you want to add extra navigation, promotions, or widgets next to the content. The Sidebar Style setting determines the visual appearance of your sidebar, how it looks alongside your blog posts or archive content. This setting affects design, not the sidebar's position. Use Unboxed for clean, modern designs where you want the sidebar to appear subtle and blend with the background. Choose Boxed if you want the sidebar to look more structured or visually separated from the main content. The blog layout setting determines how your blog posts are displayed on archive pages, such as blog, category, and tag pages. It controls the overall structure and visual arrangement of post previews, including thumbnails, excerpts, meta information, and more. Grid. Use this layout for portfolio-style or image-heavy blogs. List. Ideal for text-focused blogs, news sites, or journals. Cover. Best suited for a dramatic editorial-style blog homepage. The Post Per Page setting allows you to decide how many blog posts will appear on each page of your blog and archive sections, including category, tag, author pages. This setting controls the number of posts visitors see before pagination, page navigation appears, such as page 1, page 2, and so on. To adjust, simply enter the desired number of posts in the box, or use the ++ then minus buttons to increase or decrease the count. The Content Width setting controls the width of your blog content area within the container. This influences the spacing and readability of your blog post previews on archive pages. Default, this option inherits the content width from the global settings, found under Global Container, ensuring a consistent layout across your entire site. Custom. This option lets you specify an exact width in pixels, which is useful if you want the blog archive content to be wider or narrower than other parts of your site. The Post Structure setting allows you to control which elements appear in each blog post preview on your blog archive pages. This includes both visual components, such as images and buttons, and post metadata, like author name or publication date. Featured image displays the post's featured image, thumbnail. Clicking on the arrow will open this window, where you can adjust the image ratio, switching between formats like 16:9 or 4:3. You can also customize the hover effect, choosing between options like zoom in or zoom out, as shown here. Additionally, feel free to adjust the image size to your preference. Categories shows the post's assigned categories, positioned either above or below the title. This helps with organization and filtering. Title displays the post title. Post meta, a container for author name, date, comments, categories, and tags. Excerpt shows a brief preview of the post content. You can control the length of the excerpt by words or characters. Tags displays the post tags either inline or below the excerpt, useful for additional categorization. Read More adds a Read More link or button that directs visitors to the full post. These are the specific details you can choose to display within the post meta section. Author shows the name of the post author. Date displays the publication date of the post. Comments shows the number of comments on the post. Categories optionally duplicates the category display inside the meta section if not shown elsewhere. Tags displays the post tags within the meta section instead of below the excerpt. In the design section, you'll find the option to adjust the border radius. This setting allows you to round the corners of elements like images, posts, and containers. giving your layout a more polished, modern feel. By customizing the border radius, you can achieve either sharp, defined corners or smooth, curved edges, depending on your design preferences. You have the flexibility to adjust various text sizes to suit your needs. You can easily adjust the size of the post title, making it larger for added emphasis or smaller for a more subtle appearance. Similarly, you can modify the size of the meta font, which controls the text for details such as the author's name, date, and category. Additionally, you have the option to adjust the size of the taxonomy font, which affects elements like tags and categories. These simple adjustments allow you to fully customize the appearance of your content and ensure it fits your desired design style. Don't forget to click Publish when you finish your settings. In other custom post types, you'll find the same settings. To preview your changes in real time, simply select the section you want to modify. For example, if you wish to adjust the blog archive page, select the blog page. To edit a single post, click on the post and enter its settings. Likewise, if you want to customize a single page, like the Contact Us or About Us page, just navigate to that specific page and make your adjustments there using the Post Types Customizer. Now we will go back to other settings in the General section. First, we have a breadcrumb. Breadcrumbs are a navigation tool that helps users understand their current location within a website and easily navigate back to previous pages. In your settings, under the breadcrumb section, first, we will choose a category to let you see the preview, which allows you to customize the appearance and behavior of the breadcrumb trail. When you click on the arrow setting, you'll see several options that control how the breadcrumb behaves relative to the page title. These options are None. This option removes the breadcrumb arrow altogether. Inside, the breadcrumb arrow will appear inside the page title, placed before the title or before the below header, depending on further settings. Now, I will select the post to make it more clear and make you understand. You can separate the breadcrumb items using these marks and choose the one that works best for your design. Additionally, you have the option to align the breadcrumb to the left, center, or right, depending on your preference. If needed, you can also select which specific pages you want the breadcrumb to appear on, giving you full control over its display. After title, the breadcrumb arrow will appear after the page title, following the title text. Before title, the breadcrumb arrow will appear before the page title, leading the text. Let's dive back into the sidebar section. Here, you can manage and customize the sidebar's appearance to better align with your website's needs. However, since we've already set the settings in the post types, everything is currently set to the default. From this section, you can adjust the sidebar size to your preference. Additionally, you have the option to make the sidebar sticky, allowing it to remain visible as users scroll down the page, enhancing the user experience. Let's go back to the other item. The Scroll to Top button is a convenient feature that allows users to quickly return to the top of the page with a single click. In this section, you can easily enable or disable this feature using the toggle. You also have the option to choose where the button will be displayed. Desktop only, mobile only, both desktop and mobile, allowing the button to be accessible on all devices. Additionally, you can decide where the button appears on the screen, with options to position it on the left or right side of the page. Finally, you can adjust the icon size to fit your design preferences, ensuring that the button looks just right and provides a smooth, user-friendly experience. In the design section for the Scroll to Top button, you can fully customize its appearance to match your site style. First, you can set the icon color to choose the default color of the icon. You also have the option to set a hover color, so when users hover over the button, it changes to the color of your choice, adding a dynamic effect. Next, you can customize the background color of the button and define its hover background color for when users interact with it. This provides a clear visual cue and enhances the button's interactivity. Additionally, you can adjust the border radius, giving the button rounded corners for a softer, more modern look. These design options help you tailor the button's appearance to seamlessly fit within your website's overall theme and design. Sure, go back to other item. Accessibility. The accessibility settings help improve your website's usability for all users, including those with disabilities. It includes options like enabling a site-wide accessibility toggle, which activates features designed to enhance navigation for visually impaired users. Additionally, you can adjust settings for global highlights and input highlights to make key elements more noticeable, while providing visual cues like the 3 dots and mark for better navigation. These features ensure that your site is more inclusive and easier to interact with. Certainly, Block Editor Core Block Spacing Options. In the Block Editor, you can customize the spacing between core blocks with 3 distinct options. Compact, a tighter, more condensed layout with less space between blocks. Comfort, a balanced layout with standard spacing, providing a comfortable reading experience. Custom allows you to set your own custom spacing values for maximum flexibility. Additionally, you can adjust the overall size of the blocks, tailoring the layout to better fit your design needs. MISC enables smooth scroll to ID. The miscellaneous section includes the option to enable smooth scrolling to specific IDs on your website. When activated, this feature allows users to smoothly scroll to targeted sections on the page when clicking links, enhancing the user experience with a fluid and polished transition between sections.
Now let's dive into the footer builder. This tool works similarly to the header builder, but specifically for the footer section of your site. If you're already familiar with how the header builder operates, you'll find this process quite intuitive. Here we have a default footer menu, but for this tutorial, we'll delete it and start from scratch. The footer is divided into 3 main sections, just like the header: above footer, primary footer, and below footer. In each section, you'll notice a plus icon and a settings icon. The plus icon enables you to add elements such as widgets, social icons, and custom HTML. Let's start by adding a widget. Simply click the plus icon, choose the widget element, and then select the widget you want to add. In this example, we'll choose a text widget. After adding the widget, click on it to modify its content. To organize the section, you can add a header to name this part. I'll set this header to H4 and name it Contact Info. Next, let's add a spacer to create some space between the header and the information. You can adjust the spacer size according to your preference. Now, let's input the contact details, such as an email address and a phone number. Just search for the list element, then choose it. After that, write your email and phone number. I'll bold these details for emphasis and make them clickable by using the linked icon to add the appropriate links. Once that's done, you'll see your elements appear as intended. If you wish to add more widgets or social icons to the footer, you can always click on the settings icon to explore additional customization options. You can choose how many columns you want in your footer, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or more columns. For this example, I'll choose 4 columns. Let's start by adjusting the header size. To make the header smaller, click on the widget and set the header to H6. Next, let's fine-tune the header's appearance. Click on the design icon in the widget to access customization options. Here, you can adjust the font size, change the content font size, pick the text color, and set the alignment. I'll make the header smaller, change the color to violet, and align it to the left. Notice that the spacing around the header is a bit too large, so I'll also adjust that to make it more compact. Moving on, you can easily add a footer menu. Click on the footer menu and you'll see it in the column. Add another widget by clicking the plus icon. Then choose widget 2. Here on this widget, you will find a navigation menu element. If you don't find it, just search by typing navigation menu. Then you can change the menu or set one in the menu section, and it will appear here.
Then change the title name.
I will let it be Services. You can remove or change any item in the footer as needed. For this example, I'll delete the footer menu and replace it with social media icons. To do this, click on the plus icon, then select Social Icons from the widget options. Once added, you can easily customize the icons by choosing from a wide range of social media platforms. Pick the ones you want and adjust their appearance to match your site's design, and modify the icons as needed. For example, I'll replace the Facebook icon with a Pinterest icon and add the appropriate link
to redirect users to your social media profile.
You can resize these icons to fit your design preferences. Additionally, you can add an image or your website's logo to the footer. Simply click Add Widget, choose the image widget, and upload the image from your library or device. Once selected, click Select. Lastly, in the Below Footer section, you can add copyright text. Change the placeholder text to your brand name or personal details, and aligning it to the center. And you can even add a link to it. Customize it by bolding the text. You can also change the background color of each footer section. To do this, click on the Settings icon, then go to the Design tab. Besides the background section, you can select your preferred color from the color palette. Once you're satisfied with your changes, don't forget to click Publish to save your updates. Now go back and click on Site Identity. The site icon, also known as a favicon, is the small image that appears in the Browser tab and on the mobile device home screen when users bookmark your site. You can upload a photo here, typically a square icon such as a logo or brand mark. It's recommended that the image be at least 512 by 512 pixels for best results. And here we will be redirected to the header to modify the logo and the name of the site and the tagline. And this part we did before in the Header Builder section. Now, let's move on to the Menu section. Here, you can edit your menus and choose their locations. For example, if I want to modify the main menu, I'll click on it. You can change the name of the menu itself, as well as the names of any categories or items within the menu. For instance, I'll change the New Page item to Page for Me. If you no longer need an item, you can easily remove it. You can also add new items to the menu. To add a page, simply choose the page you want, then click Add. Additionally, you can add posts, categories, tags, or even format. If you'd like, you can include a custom link. For example, I'll add my website link and name it My Website, then click Add to Menu. Under the menu location options, you can choose where you want this menu to appear. You can select from locations like the primary menu, secondary menu, off-canvas menu, logged-in account menu, or footer menu. If you want, you also have the option to delete the entire menu. Let's move on to the next section. Don't forget to publish to save your modification. We'll cover widgets later, after we finish with the customizer, since they can't be edited here. Now, let's go to the home page settings. In this section, you can simply choose Your Latest Posts. This option shows your most recent blog posts on the home page, or a static page. Select this if you want to set a specific page as your home page. Choose a page from the drop-down to designate it as your home page. Once you select this, you can choose the page you want to display. You will also have an option to set a page as your posts page. This is the page that will display your blog posts. Then go back to Lastly choice, the additional CSS. The additional CSS section in the Astra theme customizer allows you to add custom styles to your site without modifying the core theme files. This is great for personalizing your website's appearance beyond the default options. CSS is the language you use to style your website and control how it looks. It is different from HTML, which structures the content, and JavaScript, which controls interactivity, but CSS is just as important for making the site visually appealing and responsive. Now let's take a moment to briefly explain widgets. What are widgets in WordPress? Widgets are small blocks that allow you to add content and features to your website's sidebar, footer, or other widgetized areas. These can include things like recent posts, search bars, custom text, social media feeds, or contact forms. Widgets are a great way to add functionality to your site without needing to write any code. To access widgets, we can't use the customizer, so we will go to the WordPress dashboard. In your WordPress admin area, go to Appearance, Widgets. The Astra theme typically comes with the following widgetized areas, but it can vary based on your setup. Main sidebar, typically located on the left or right of your content area. The 3 footer widgets. Astra supports multiple footer widget areas, allowing you to add different widgets to different columns in your footer. Inactive widgets are widgets that aren't assigned to any active areas on your site. You might add them, but not place them in a sidebar, footer, or header. They remain inactive until you either drag them into an area or delete them. Let's start with the main sidebar. Just click on the arrow. As you can see, these are the widgets that we added on the sidebar. Let me show you where. Go to the home page, then click on Website Designing category. The preview of your main sidebar and every widget you added will appear here. You can duplicate the widget or delete it, or rename it. To add a widget, simply click the plus icon, then click Browse All. On the left, you will see a list of widgets that can be added to your site, such as recent posts, search, text, categories, and more. I will add social media icons. Simply click on it, select it, then click the plus icon to add the icons. Click Browse All. I will choose the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, lastly Pinterest. You can adjust the colors from here. Also, you can add a header to name this widget in the sidebar. You can move any item from these arrows to the top or the bottom. I will name the heading Social Media. Then enter your links into the icons by clicking on the icon and writing your profile link. Then click the Enter arrow. You can also add an image and many widgets. You can navigate and discover them. As you can see, all the widgets that we added appear here. As for the other widgets we've added in the Footer Builder section of the customizer, there's no need to repeat the process. I'm confident you understand the concept by now. Step 5. Navigate Hostinger account and set business email. Now let's move to talk about Hostinger and discover the dashboard.
Starting with the Hostinger panel here, there are tons of features you can access. First off, click on Websites to view your site's performance and log in. Next, hit the Dashboard tab, which shows details about your current domain. You'll see things like a 100% page speed score, confirmation your site is malware-free, and other general website insights. From here, click on WordPress Overview, where you'll get access to more settings. One handy feature is Maintenance Mode. Activating this puts an under construction page up so visitors won't see your site while you work on it. I'll leave mine off for now. Another useful tool is Flush Cache. Sometimes when editing your website, changes don't immediately show up because of cached data. If that happens, just click Flush Cache to clear all cached files. Over on the left, there's also Staging. Hostinger makes it super simple to create a staging environment. which lets you test updates on a separate copy of your website without affecting the live version. Just click Create Staging, name it like Testing, then hit Create and Close. Once it's ready, you can work safely on your updates without disrupting your main site. Next, I'll click on Manage Staging and open up the Admin panel. At the top, you'll notice the word Testing next to your domain. This allows you to work on your website freely without affecting the live version. For example, if I want to update the landing page, I can do that here. Say you want to build your site with full flexibility. You can make changes like updating the title or redesigning sections, but these changes only exist in the testing environment for now. When you're happy with your edits and want to publish these changes to your main domain, Hostinger makes it easy. I'll hit Publish, and after that's done, from here, you can push the staging website live. I'll click Back and then tap the 3 dots icon. Clicking on those 3 dots gives me the option to publish. This process will take the entire site from staging and overwrite your live website with it. This feature is especially handy since you don't want to be making live edits in front of visitors. It can be awkward. So I click the 3 dots, then Publish. A warning pops up letting you know your current live website will be replaced entirely, so double-check everything looks right before confirming. Once ready, I press Publish, and the update can take up to 15 minutes to go live. Then I close the notification. Moving on, the next feature is Analytics. This dashboard shows who is visiting your site, including their IP addresses and countries. You'll also get a list of request IPs and the bandwidth your site is consuming. Now let's move on to business emails. I'll click on Emails, then Email Accounts. Here, you can set up free business email accounts right through Hostinger, giving your website a professional touch. So, right here, click on Set Up and pick your domain. Then hit Confirm. Choose either the hosting or free option and click Select. After that, you'll create a free business email by entering the name you want. Mine, admin@mycacheprocess.infi.uk. Enter your password, then press Create. Once it's done, click Skip. Now that your email accounts are created, to access them, go to Email Accounts. Here you'll see your email, and keep in mind, you can create up to 100 free business emails per domain. To add another, just click the plus icon and create a new one. To check your webmail, simply click on Webmail. This will log you into the interface where you enter your password and click Login. This is your new business email inbox where you can send and receive messages. All right, to return to the main areas, click on Main Menu, then Websites, and from there, head back to your domains dashboard. Next up is the Domains section. Click on Domains and then select Subdomains. This lets you create a subdomain, usually used for things like support pages. For example, you might create a subdomain called Help, then click Create. A subdomain functions like a separate website, but it's connected to your main site. If you want to install WordPress on this subdomain, go back to the WordPress section, click Overview. You'll find the option to install WordPress on your new subdomain. Head over to the Websites section, and you'll now see the new website listed, which is actually your subdomain linked to the main domain. From here, click on Dashboard, then WordPress Overview. Scroll down to find Install Another WordPress. When you click Install, you'll be prompted to enter the credentials for the new subdomain. But first, make sure to select it properly. All right, I'll go ahead and quickly add something here. In the Advanced section, you'll notice the option to install a new setup right under your new subdomain. Basically, this will create a completely new website, which is just a subdomain of your existing site. So, I'll click Next, then proceed to install a fresh WordPress setup on this new subdomain. Once that's finished, you can select your subdomain and log in to the new site. Just like that, we'll have a brand new website running on your subdomain. It's a clean WordPress install, and you'll clearly see it's connected to your new subdomain. This is the method for creating subdomains right from your hosting dashboard. Moving back to staging, you'll now see that progress is complete. If we go to our websites and refresh the page, the staging area will be imported onto your live sites. After refreshing, you'll notice the screen that we set up earlier in the staging area. So that's how you can create staging environments and then push those changes live. So, congratulations on your new WordPress website. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and the theme. Until next time, see you later. Thanks so much for watching, party people. If you've got questions about WordPress or Elementor, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to check the video description. And I'll catch all of you party people in the next video. Take care.